My name is Anthony. Welcome to the Scalability Podcast. Oh my God, that God. So how was the drive up today?
Wasn't too bad, actually. We didn't get too much traffic coming over here. It was pretty smooth. Stopped at the Men's Warehouse.
Oh, okay, nice.
To see some other couple things, but
Yeah.
just got one little sweater, which I'm not wearing right now, by the way.
Dude, I love the Men's Warehouse.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Joseph A. Bank's good too, though, right?
Which one?
Joseph A. Bank.
Joseph A. I've never been there.
Try it. I think you'll like it.
Okay, so the Joseph A. Banks, when I used to work in the mall, Joseph A. Banks, like I was the manager of like an AT&T kiosk, and like Joseph A. Banks had a store like right next to us, and at that time, I think I wasn't making a lot of money. I still wasn't making a lot of money. Definitely not enough to get like a Joseph A. Banks suit. I remember they did have like deals and specials that they would put out, but I think that was probably around the time that I went to the Goodwill and got my first suit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like I found my first suit at the first two suits at the Goodwill, but yeah, man. Now I'm a big fan of dressing up, and I think the culture nowadays, especially for younger men, is pushing them to not dress. It's pushing them to wear whatever they want, and to each his own. But I feel like I'm still going to have a desire to dress up, wear suits, wear ties. What was it like when you were younger?
Honestly, I just never really liked wearing suits in the beginning. Never really have, but now it's different.
Yeah.
But I was the type of guy who wore like a slag or a sweater or a jean. But I don't know. I just never really gotten used to it.
Yeah.
But it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm a project.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we all should be like forever, forever developing, and that's not exclusive to everything. It includes our style too, right? Because I know there's periods that I've gone where I'll just do t-shirts, jeans, shoes, and sweaters or whatever. And then there's times where I'm just like extremely like dressed up all the time. Like right now I'm a little heavier, and I have like a full closet like full of suits that like just won't fit.
Suits never fit me. Just so you know that I bought suits and they don't fit me very well. So that's one of the reasons why I never didn't buy a lot of suits and stuff. But
you know what though, like this is why like right now, so like okay, like as we speak, like I'm on camera right now. So for those of you who are watching, you can see I'm rocking the blazer with a t-shirt and jeans today. And that's my friend Blake and I have a joke. This is business casual. So it's like even if you're a little bigger, right? Like you can still like switch things around. But anyway, though, man. So that's cool. So the drive up here was good. We're talking a little bit about parenthood. And how's that been for you, like, being a parent and also being an entrepreneur?
It's been a challenge being a parent, but it's a good challenge.
Yeah.
It teaches you a lot of in my situation, my mom and dad said, make sure when you do this, you do this, and make sure you pay attention to this. Make sure. And before, like when I was growing up, like, what are you talking about? Or like, don't do this or don't do that. Now I understand.
Yeah.
I get it now. But 3 kids. I shouldn't say kids, 21, 18, and a 15-year-old. And
oh, wow, okay.
we raised them all the same, and they all came out different. Completely different. But for the most part, it's been good. One moved out already, 21. God, how old am I? I'm an old man, and
Nah, you're good.
43.
No, you're good.
But my daughter wants to be an entrepreneur. She does like baking, and she does... she wants to do like t-shirts and stuff like that. So she's trying to do that, and she's trying to get a real estate license and everything. And I said, well, just pick something that you want to do, and just go for it.
Yeah.
I don't ever discourage them. I tell them do it, and don't and make sure that you stand on your own 2 feet and go forward.
I love that.
Strong woman, entrepreneur as well. Go for it. And she gets a lot of her fire from her mom too. So not from me. I'm pretty calm.
You said something that's really important, right? Like we raised all three the same, but all three of them came out completely different.
That's right.
Yeah, that resonates a lot. I remember like one time I was sitting at the cigar lounge and I was talking to a guy and he just was like, you know, feeling really bad because I forget what happened. I think his daughter was like blaming him for the way that her life turned out and this and that. And I think because he had like been to jail for a while, right? Like there was some issues that were happening there, but I'll never forget. Like I told him, I'm like, dude, you could have done everything perfect.
Yeah.
You could have been the best dad. You could have been there for her for everything. Put her in the best college, the best everything. But her deciding to be a victim has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. No. I agree with that 100%. There's only so much you could do, right? So. He was an unfortunate situation for him, right? And then it comes back that way. But if he did everything in his power at that time, that's it. You know, you just got to walk over with it, knowing that you did the best you could at that time. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, kids, it's like a really interesting it's a really interesting topic, especially kids in entrepreneurship, because you know, like there's things that are happening right now where I feel like I'm tackling them like with the mind of an entrepreneur with my son, right? So so I grew up without a father. I grew up in a single mother household, right? So a lot of these like things like as a man that another man was supposed to teach me, I don't know. So like you know, like the other day my I won't forget, just like a few weeks ago, my son comes home and he's like, Dad, I got a girlfriend. He's 11 years old, man. He's in the 5th grade. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you got a girlfriend? You know, and I kind of like just like paused for a second and I thought about it and I was like, you know, I could be the dad right now that says you're too young to have a girlfriend, break up with her, and you know, and then I could be like that, like over controlling, overbearing father, or you know what? Let him make some mistakes right now. I'm gonna let him make some mistakes right now, right? And what was really interesting was very fast, like, and I feel very bad for this young girl, you know, because immediately like she's like blowing my son's phone up, texting, like I'm like looking at, you know, her texting my son all these vulgar things, and you know she's freaking like calling this kid at midnight, and like, you know, because I'll take away his phone after 9, and she's like calling until midnight, and I'm like, God, like, do you not have any parents like watching you, like, and I'm thinking all these different things, and I'll never forget, right, like there was just a point where I got kind of tired of it, but again, instead of telling my son break up with her, I decided to help him navigate through it. So, you know, we I basically like help him put his little girlfriend in check. Yeah. And, you know, we you know, I walked him through the steps, right? On like, hey, she's disrespecting you right now. Like, hey, you know, she's being controlling over you. She's, you know, all these different things. And I guided him through the situation. And then now she's like, I'm so sorry. Now, you know, now like she's respecting him. Right. Now she's treating him how he's supposed to. And it's so interesting.
We kind of have a similar situation.
Okay, tell me about it. Up to you. Your wife's just so you guys know who are watching or listening. His wife's giving him the eye right now. Like, I don't know if we should be talking.
I think my boy. Well, it's not so much us. We're not so. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But just want to be very careful on what what we cause and everything. But one of our kids, great kid. But just got caught up, and now it's to the point to where we do talk, but very seldom we talk. We don't have too much consistent communication.
Yeah.
And it's just too bad because we really kind of raised them with the goal that, hey, we're always here for you. We were always there for them. We did everything, kind of what we talked about. You do everything you can, and you try to kind of really open it and say, okay, show me your world. What's going on with you? We want to try to understand so we can accept, right? And no, it just didn't pan out that way. So but we don't talk to the young lady that he's with too much anymore.
You know what though? Here's my thoughts on that. Because here's what I did notice, like growing up. So I have a half brother, right? And he has his own dad, right? We share a mom. He has his own dad, and his dad, very very straightforward. And I hope that his side of the family is listening to this. It's been very manipulative, like our entire lives. My to the point where like. When my brother was young, my older brother and sister, because they're both his kids, they basically, that side of the family lied to my brother and sister their whole life.
Wow,
right?
that's
They
tough.
they manipulated them against my mom, and it's interesting that now that they're older, like they resent their father because they found out the truth. And I think as long as you're raising your kids with the truth, we are raising them with love. Like this girl who's manipulating your son right now, right? Like he's gonna in time be like, damn, my parents were right.
Yeah. And that was one of ours. And I don't ever lose hope on anything. But that was for right now, strike one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other one that could have been strike two was my daughter. She was with a young man. He was just bad news. We can kind of tell. And she was always resistant. No, but this and that. You don't understand. You don't. No, we're trying to kind of. She thought that we weren't letting her kind of date and do that, but that wasn't the thing. It was just we just didn't. It just didn't look. It wasn't a good situation.
Yeah.
And we can kind of see it, right? And now she's with another young man. Kid's awesome.
Yeah.
Great personality, respectful, and you know what? She goes out and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good. We just say, hey, just come back at a certain time. And he goes, okay, no problem. What time do you want her back?
Wow. Okay.
I said, okay, this time. And I said,
as a parent, that's what you want to hear.
yeah, right? Exactly. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. Stuff can still happen, right? We know that.
Sure.
But for the most part, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And I told her, I said, now look, I told her, do you not see the difference? We weren't trying to keep you away from this person over here. It's a situation that we saw, and we're trying to do the best we can to protect you.
Yeah.
And now look, now you got freedom. You're able to do what you want to do.
And you know what though? But that's also your daughter as well. Right?
Yeah.
And this is where so I me and my girl have one on the way right now, and we don't know if it's a boy or girl yet. She's hoping that it's a girl. I honestly really don't care either way. But for me, like dealing with, if my son was a girl, and he was in the same, and that girl was in the same situation, I would be absolutely livid. I would be knocking at the door of whoever this kid is dating, trying to date my daughter in the 5th grade, and be like, what the fuck are you guys?
Right.
What are you guys doing here?
No, yeah.
Hold the fuck up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I get upset about it, and I approach it a certain way, and I'm trying to strategically do it. My wife does not.
Yeah.
She's like, "Where's he at?" She jumps in the car. Shoo!
Yeah.
And that's not a figure of speech. That happened.
Yeah.
She cut the guy off, and she got to get out of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, your wife's gangster. I like that. But I think I would be the same way. Like, I'll never forget, one day my son was like coming home from school, and okay, I was like, I when I was living in Merced, I would try to get home like right when my son would get home. And one day this man was like walking my son, and like the closer they got, I could see like my son's head was down, I could see that he was crying, and I hop out the car and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, dude, I found your son like laid out on the floor, like these kids like beat him up. Ooh. And I was like, whoo, man.
No way.
The moment that happened, I said, who hit you? Who beat you up? I was like, get in the car, dude. And we went and circled the block. Luckily that day, those kids did not appear, because, man, I probably would have gone to jail for beating up some freaking little, 4th or 5th graders, whatever. But the point is, like, yeah, I get emotional like that too when it comes to, my son's safety.
Yeah.
But like, I think if I had a daughter, man, I just don't know that. Like, I would be extremely protective over a daughter.
It's
yeah.
It's like, it's weird. It's like an equal thing. You love I love all my kids all the same way.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh no, this one, they have a preferred one. No.
Yeah.
It's all the same, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's natural that we kind of tend to take care of like the daughter,
Oh yeah, you're good.
the daughter more,
Yeah.
But She's a tough cookie. She kind of stands up for herself too.
You love them in a different way, right? Because
Yeah.
like your daughter's a lot less likely to like get into a fight, right?
I don't know about
Oh,
that.
okay.
Well, not in our situation. Yeah, yeah. Like here's a perfect example.
Okay.
Good current boyfriend, good kid, awesome kid.
Yeah.
And she's probably gonna hate me for this one. So she goes, "Hey, let's go out somewhere." And he's like, "Oh, I can't go out right now. Sorry, dude. I'm throwing you under the bus right now." He goes, "I don't feel like going." And then she goes, "Well, let's go." I goes, "Oh, well, then stay there. I'm gonna go. I'll see you later. I'll come."
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh."
Okay.
And she went out, had a good time. She came back.
Whose personality does she have more?
The mom's.
Yeah. But also she's the one who wants to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's that fire right there. Right
No, she's
there.
a firecracker. And that's good. She don't take anything, from anybody. So that's good.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. I love to hear it. But yeah, it's just. I don't know, like these situations, right? Like these situations that come up, it's like so difficult to maneuver.
Oh yeah.
Especially like I'm not, I'm not seeing like a lot of situations that I went through up here in my son's life. Like it's just a lot of like very different things.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it's because you built that foundation and you kind of made sure that you helped them a little bit more get through that? Like from your experience growing up, maybe?
I don't know, man. Like there's just like, let me think of like another like insane. Going back to like the girlfriend, right? Like my girl's like always like making me aware of these things because sometimes I miss them. But like his girlfriend is like making him fight against another boy. Like she's like creating a rivalry, or she's creating tension between two boys.
Right.
Like, again, at 5th grade, like I didn't have that problem. Like I don't know how to deal with that. Like we're dealing with it now, but I think a big problem too for us is like in Merced, because we moved to Merced in like the middle of COVID, and being out there, my son was already accustomed to the school he was at. He had guy friends. Like when we were over there, like girls are icky. Like like he wasn't doing that. And then we pull him out of there and bring him to Cupertino. Okay. I needed to move back for like business purposes, and so San Jose is my home. I grew up on the east side. This is my hood, right? But I wanted to put him in like good schools. So we decided that we're just gonna, pay the higher rent in Cupertino. But the problem that we've seen so far now is like, okay, my son's a little Latino. He's a little swaggy. He's a little kid that's dripped out, right? And he goes into this school with a bunch of like Indian kids, Russian kids, Chinese kids, like and not just like American Indian, American Russian, American, like immigrant kids.
It's like a different school culture.
Way different school culture, yeah. And and a lot of these kids, like they don't, like my son can't relate to the boys, and the girls suddenly think that my son's like this hot kid, right? And it's just like like my son would come home and be like, "Dad, all the girls think I'm hot." I'm like, this is crazy. So like that's another thing I never had to like really deal with, right? And then but yeah, so that is causing like a whole different type of issue. Like I've been to a school. I remember like this girl walked up to him and said a few words, and she just like was like like she was so nervous walking away. She like hit a pole, like so she probably mustered up so much strength just to come and talk to my son.
Right.
And he is handsome. He's a little younger version of his daddy.
He got some swag going.
Yeah, and he's a football player too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Like, were you guys, when you first started having kids, were you guys already like financially like settled? No. Okay.
So. No, there was time when we literally had $20 in our bank account.
Wow. Okay. I know what that's like.
I mean, we were strapped.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to do that. I kept my wife there, and I got to give it to her because she didn't have to do that, man. We lived with my mom forever. She's a good person.
Yeah.
But you know, as when you get together with somebody, you want to have your own space.
Yep.
And she didn't have that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I say long time because it was a long time. Pretty much, my kids grew up in the house that I grew up in, and I was there because when my dad passed away in 1999, I was 20 years old. Yeah, he passed away. Everything went away.
Yeah.
Everything. We were very comfortable. He had a mechanic shop right down over here up on Los Reyes, and he just made sure that we always had everything. Right?
Yeah.
And with all that just like deteriorating, I had to learn how to work. I was spoiled. I didn't know how to work.
Yeah.
Very irresponsible. And then she got pregnant. I was like 20 years old. She got pregnant. I was 21. First boy was born when I was 21.
Yeah.
And we just were bad with money. I was irresponsible, you know. And we lived at home, my mom, and it was just it was difficult, man.
Yeah.
It was difficult. We had the back end of my mom. She helped us out, but because I helped my mom pay a lot of the bills and groceries, and my brother lived there, and he was still going through high school and graduating, and we were just strapped. So it was pretty difficult. She remembers.
Is that so? Is this like, where does real estate come into play? How old were you when you got your real estate license?
I was probably about 23, 24.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though, with me. I am right now I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm barely becoming more responsible and learning how to work and put in the work later on in life.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I hope I don't go off on a tangent here. That has to do with it. You know, when you grow up and you don't really have much, and then you make it, and then much respect to everybody that does that because they didn't have it, and then they become that person, and they work, they grind out, and they become top, right? So that's difficult to do. But I think what can be worse is when you grow up comfortable.
Yep.
And you lose everything and you don't have a work ethic, learning how to get the work ethic and then become somebody after is just as difficult.
Dude, I think it's probably more difficult. There's that saying that goes, I think it goes something like, hard times creates tough men. Hard times create tough men create easy times create something like that, right? So basically, like, is that how it goes? Hard times create tough men create easy times create soft men create hard times. It's a cycle, right? So what you're talking about is, you know, and I appreciate you being very transparent with that, because okay, a small version of that for me, when I first fucking moved out, like, of my house and I got my first apartment, dude, my dishes stacked up, my freaking laundry stacked up to the point where, like, I remember like the dishes got, you know, to the point where there was mold everywhere. It's just disgusting, because my mom always did my dishes. You know, my mom always did my laundry. My mom always did, you know, and still to this day, like, my laundry will pile up, and then, you know, I gotta freaking take it in big bulk to go get cleaned or whatever. But, like, you know, now, dude, this year I was talking to my girl. I'm like, this year we're hiring someone to do all the clothes. I don't want to do it anymore, and it's not worth my time. I don't like doing it. I could be doing other stuff. But the point is, though, is like I get that, right? Like, I get, and it took me, you know, and you have to go through a lot of freaking pain. You have to go through a lot of pain, through a lot of embarrassment. You have to go through, you know, there's so, like, you literally have to get your fucking dignity taken away from you before you're like, okay, right. I get it.
No, yeah, it's true. If 10, 12, 15 years back, if you asked me to do a podcast with you, like right now, like we're doing right now, no dude, way. I'd be scared. Yeah. I wouldn't even step in this room to do it. Yeah. So I think a lot, it has to do with you finally taking those steps, but also if you have a great partner or people around you, right? Yeah. And I don't want that to sound like cliche or anything, but my wife's like saying, just do it. Yeah. What are you waiting for? Yeah. You know, people like yourself, right? Anthony goes, dude, just do it. what are you waiting for, right?
Yeah, and that's, it's easier said than done, right? But like it's like, if I tell you just do it, your wife told you just do it. Like, sometimes I'll tell people just do it, not because I know that they're gonna do it right away, but like maybe they haven't even had that seed planted yet, and they still need it, or the seed's been planted, but it still needs to be watered some more before it sprouts, right?
Right.
So it's like now you're doing all this content. This is your seed sprouting now,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, you've been told so many times that you know that you have to do this thing that's going to get you great results, but it's just been very difficult to make it happen. But then just I don't know what it is, just one day you freaking wake up and you're like, it's there.
Yeah.
I got it, right? And I've had those moments, not just with business, but also with like, there's been times where I lost a lot of weight. There's been times where like, dude, I'll wake up in the morning and I fall on my knees and pray to God. I'm like, man, I'm sorry, like, for getting away from you. Like, there's so many different things in life. Like there's even times where like, I've like cried to my son, like, and I'll like hug him and we'll be like on the floor, like bawling our eyes out, like, man, I'm sorry for all the bad things that, like I've messed up on as a father. And, so there, and there a lot of times just do it is more difficult than
It's
seems.
true.
Yeah.
A lot of mental blocks.
A lot.
You have to break them.
Yes.
And you have to kind of slither through it. So, it's not that we don't listen to when people tell us just do it. It's just getting through it is just very hard.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
So I'm gonna tell you what works for me though, and one of the reasons why I moved back to San Jose, because we talked about this, right? Proximity is power. Right? Like I hooked you up with my boy, and hopefully you guys could work together someday. But the point is, like, I try to surround myself with people who have constant movement.
Yep.
Because when other people, like I know that when other people around me are moving, I'm more likely to move.
That's true.
Right? When other people are, this is one of the things that like, about real estate, like that I love. Like last night we were at the event for Kinetic Real Estate, and there's just a room full of energy. People are happy, stuff's moving, right? Like you could just, when you're a part of something bigger than yourself, it's so much easier to be productive. It's so much easier to just do it.
Right.
And, like if you're like in your house by yourself and you got 100 phone numbers in front of you that you got to call, just calling those phone numbers is not as easy as you think. You might make a phone call and feel defeated. But if you're in a room full of 20 other people making phone calls, it becomes easier because they're doing it, I'm doing it, we're doing it, right? So that's my kind of view when it comes to just do it. And that's why I'm back in San Jose, because I want to be a stone's throw away from other entrepreneurs that inspire me.
Right. No, that's I think that's the best way to approach, honestly.
Yeah.
You got to be around the energy, right?
Yeah.
I think I took a few steps back when I was at the bigger brokerage. There was a lot of good people there, a lot of energy and stuff, but I kind of felt like I was getting lost. I kind of felt like who am I here, right? And that's one of the reasons why I kind of went independent. But I agree with you though. You got to get back in around people that have that force, that power, that following. That gentleman, I can say his name, right?
Sure.
Enrique Medellin.
Yeah.
That guy's a rock star,
Yeah.
And we're about, I think, the same age, I think, or I think I'm a little bit older than him. And the guy just killed it. He knows people that I know that were working back when I was at the other office. He knows them. I think 2 people work for him that worked at that other office. And he just telling me, you just got this. I'm like, you know what? He's right, man. He's right. So, rubbing shoulders with people like that, definitely be around that.
Yeah. No, I think, that proximity piece. Oof. But yeah, dude. So let's do. What direction do you want to go now, man? We can take this podcast wherever. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's whatever. Let's do it. Whatever.
All right. So let's see here. What's going on nowadays? Because I like this fatherhood piece that we were talking about right now. Okay, let's talk about, now that you're in your own brokerage, right? So tell me about that journey on becoming a broker and like what it's been like. Let's talk about the difficulties because we've talked about like the challenges of motivating agents and all the shit that comes with it. Right?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's difficult, especially when you leave that bigger umbrella that kind of gives you somewhat of protection, and you go by yourself. All those systems, if you don't have the capital and you don't have the stuff to go with it, which I don't have yet all the way, I'm working on that. But if you don't have that, it's very hard, especially when you're trying to obtain talent and you're trying to get people going and everything. It's a whole different world, man. It really is. I got three young agents, awesome guys, and I give them all the time in the world, and I'm available all the time. But one of the things, and I don't blame them, I know it's gonna sound kind of weird. They go, well, we want a big office. Okay, all right, that's fine. A big office will come, but we all gotta hustle.
Yeah.
We all gotta put in the work, right?
Yeah.
So they want that, and I've had agents leave because we don't have that, right? But I think more than anything, and this is for any agent working in real estate, especially when you're going by yourself, know your worth. Respect yourself and know your worth, right? Push yourself, right? My wife goes, you know what you're doing, just keep doing it. You don't have to, give all this if you don't have it, right? Don't try. You're trying too hard, right? And she's right, 100%. So, just grind out, man. I mean, that's all I can say, But the cons is you're more liability, right? You have to kind of pretty much teach everybody from square one, unless you get people that have talent that know the business.
Yeah.
But if you don't have all the tools and all the stuff that go along with it, you're not gonna be able to get all the talent to go with you, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely like so I've done a lot of people development in the past. I haven't sold real estate before, but I've always been around it. Right, I've been a marketing director at Century 21. I've worked with a lot of real estate agents just for marketing things, and But when it comes to like people development, like that's like one of the things that I've always specialized in. So now, like with my company, we have a lot of employees now. And we're constantly like raising up leaders. And I learned how to raise up leaders and how to train people from working at other people's companies, right? And like being their manager, scaling their companies. How did you learn to train and develop people?
I mean, I just try to get what I learned off of my mentors and try to implement those type of systems. I really didn't have anything like structured, and I think you're a little more structured than I am as far as, how you train and obtain your talent, right? Me, I'm just saying, hey, listen, I could teach you everything that I know. And if I don't know, I'm going to bring in people that do know, and they're going to help me get you to that level. So I don't really have a complete, like a full structure. It's just more like, let me show you what I know.
I have a question. So what direction are you going to take this year? Are you going to continue to go on your own brokerage independent? Are you going to join a bigger, powerful brokerage? What are you going to do this year?
That's a good question. I think we've been kind of pondering that, and
yeah.
we talked about possibly going and joining like maybe like an EXP.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea, or maybe kind of stick it out, try to get a brick and mortar, and then build it ourselves. But I mean, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. We just don't know yet, though. But we just definitely want to grow, though. But I want to grow myself first more.
Yeah.
In order for me to be able to give those people the base and the tools.
Yeah, dude. Like I agree with that, right? Like, so I definitely agree with that. So this last year for my sales team for my company, I was investing a lot of time, a lot of effort into them. But the reality is for my company, like I generate more business for my own company than any of my sales reps ever could. Right. So it's like there's just a certain point where it's like, okay, my sales reps are still going, but for me, I'm like, dude, like I would rather just be so like the biggest way that I get business is through networking, right?
Right.
So I go out, I target very specific events and very specific groups of people. You know, I will go to like the cigar lounge, very specific cigar lounges, and I'll just meet with people, talk, become friends, add them on social media, and then they see my videos. And this is like a big way for me to get business. And I'm like, you know what? I would much rather do that this year than just like waste my time and developing a new sales team. Like, so I'm keeping my sales team now because we're actually working with a new marketing company, and that marketing company, you know, they're basically saying that they can generate us leads for my sales team. So I'm like, okay, we'll keep these guys around just in case these leads actually like really truly pop off. Then I'll have a team to take those in, because I don't want to be I don't want to be dealing with incoming leads online. Like, I would much rather deal with my personal network than deal with that. But yeah, man, I 100% agree with that mindset, right? Focus on you. What's going to be your plan to generate more new business this year besides content, right? Because we know we're working on content, but how are you planning on growing your sphere of influence?
I think I got to go back to, got to go old school. You know, I mean, believe it or not, a lot of people have actually stopped doing a lot of the old stuff that used to work, like door knocking, cold calling on the phone. It works.
Yes.
I mean, that stuff really works.
100%.
It's outbound prospecting, right? Reverse selling. I don't know, you've heard a guy named Brandon Mulrenan?
No.
Okay, he's pretty good. He does like a lot of coaching and stuff. But he was in the same situation where he was growing a brokerage, and he was trying to keep them going and keep himself going. Got to the point to where he just started recruiting, really stopped selling real estate, and just kept growing the business in that aspect and coaching. Now he doesn't really, dabble too much in the sales part of it anymore. Yeah. Right? It's like going, right? Yeah. But he says, you got to go to the stuff that works, that's always worked, and don't get away from it.
Yeah, like I would do that with like a new school approach, right? So like do the old school actions with the new school approach. Like, for example, like immediately off the top of my head is like, if I'm gonna door knock, right, I'm probably gonna also leave some sort of flyer with the QR code to our social media, to our website, right? And the thing is, like, all right, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my strategy. So, all right, my business, I can do business with people everywhere. So can you, but I can do business with people everywhere, right? Because our business, like, we have no location. It's everywhere. So what we do, so like I also told my cold calling team, hey, guys, stop calling New York, stop calling Miami, stop calling Chicago, LA, San Diego, stop calling all that. We're hyper-focusing on the Bay Area, from San Francisco all the way down to San Jose, right? And we're hyper-focusing here. So basically all of our ads that we're running now through Facebook, Instagram, Google, all of them are here.
All local.
All local. Now also we're eliminating in our database everything that's outside of here. So now we're going to start sending letters, okay? And I'm picking my top 100 clients that I want to work with. I'm going to buy a book and actually mail all of them the book, because if it's like a big package, they're going to feel it, like, oh, damn, what the fuck
what is this?
Yeah, right? Mail them a book with the letter. I'm showing up to as many events as possible, and then on top of that, people are seeing my content. Right. So what is that called in real estate?
I should know, and I don't know.
It's an F word.
It's
farming.
Yes, farming.
Okay. So
shame on me.
So I'm literally taking a play out of the real estate book and using it for myself, right? Because that's what a real estate agent is supposed to do. You
Farm an area.
Yeah, you're knocking on the doors. You're sending the mail. They see you at the grocery store. They see you at the gym. They see you at the restaurants. When there's community events, they see you there. Like, that's the part where, like, you need to be constantly in these people's faces all the time. And then one of these days they're gonna be like, shit, dude, I see this guy all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
like,
true.
You must be somebody, because I see you everywhere. Right? And that's one of the reasons why we want to do content, because we want to get that working for you.
Right. And that's why he said, David, Stop spreading yourself out thin. And focus on one location, in one spot, and really hit it hard. I was thinking, why is he telling me that? This is why.
Yeah.
This is why.
Because it's, you know what, dude? It's easy to be the unofficial mayor of Hollister. Yeah, dude, bro, I'll tell you what, man. If I became a real estate agent and I moved to Hollister, like I could dominate that entire little city. If I really want to, I'll just go in using the same exact tactics. I'll knock on the same doors. I'll send the same mail. I'll do the same ads. I'll go to the same events. I'll do everything same. Dude, like see, the thing is, you and me, we have very similar personality types. If we're both sitting down at a restaurant and the food's good and we see the owner, we'll be like, damn, this food's great.
Pretty good.
And then next thing you know, we're having a conversation. We're connecting. Like, bro, what's your Instagram?
Right.
You know what? Hey, we're having an event here. Come. Like,
right.
That's the thing too. Everywhere I go, see, this is why I teamed up with HVN, High Value Networking. I teamed up with them because, number one, I don't want to be the owner of the event. I don't want to take the liability. I don't want to take the responsibility.
That's smart.
But I also want to be a player in it where I can also say that it's mine, right? And then when I meet people, I have a place to...
That's good. That's good.
Here,
yeah,
right?
that's really good.
This is where, like, you and your wife too. It's like, what are you and your wife doing for the community?
Right.
Hey, we're having an Easter egg hunt. Right? When is Easter? April. Shit, you guys should be planning the most poppin' Easter event ever.
Did you hear that?
The most like make this Easter event epic.
Right.
Go find a partner, a place to do it at. You know, make these eggs freaking absolutely rememberable and start inviting the whole hood.
Right.
And put your faces on the flyer.
And there you go.
Right? And next thing you know, you put together an Easter event for 100, 200 people. Now they all know about you.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, you guys don't follow me on Instagram? Follow me on Instagram.
Put it right here.
And then these videos, so guys, for those of you who don't know, we're at WeWork today. We're going to do another content session with David today. But then from there, now the people start, right? Like, you know, if you're going to be in Hollister, be in Hollister. You know?
Yeah.
And everything will stem from there. But there's going to be some people who are in Hollister like, man, you know, I miss San Jose. Let's move back. Or I want to move out somewhere else. And, you know, and then there's going to be people who have family members who want to move in.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is like, you know, that approach where everybody knows about you. Everybody's talking about you. Like, how many events do you guys go to in Hollister right now?
We actually haven't gone to any events.
Is it because there's no events?
There is. We just got to figure out which ones there are and then just go to them pretty much. So guilty is charged. We haven't done that. But I think it's something we're going to have to start doing right away, like yesterday.
Dude,
but,
a city like Hollister, it doesn't take a lot to be known.
No.
It doesn't take a lot to be known.
No. It's true. And matter of fact, I think one of your other friends, clients, Orlando Navarez.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about...
Oh, my God. Bro, I guarantee you, if you told Orlando, hey, I want to do an Easter thing here in Hollister...
he'll jump on it.
He'll be like, bro, tell me when, where, how we're going to do it. Dude, that could be a shoot. What's your company name again?
Real Estate Republic.
Real Estate Republic, Navarro's Moving Company event.
There you go, Orlando. I'm going to call you.
Right, and it's not difficult to put together, and then you guys just go advertise it and tell everybody about it.
Yeah,
create flyers, you know, like, hey, just RSVP. We want to make sure you go to this website, RSVP. Put your name, number, phone number. Put your name, email, phone number here, and how many people are coming. And you build a database.
And there you go. Yeah, nice addition to the CRM, right?
Yeah, do an Eventbrite, right? Do an Eventbrite, bro. If you guys have that event, I'll go. But that's and this is the thing, right? Like something like that again is not difficult. And then what are other businesses in the area that are not competing with you who you can also get involved with too?
Right. Like the local business, like the roofing companies, other insurance companies, CPA people. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, look at this. You guys paying attention? That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. It's growth.
Yeah.
It's best.
Yeah. Partnering with people, man. Like, you know, and Like even for HVN, right? It's like what could I bring to the table that they don't already have, right? Because like you look at my personality type is they're also entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs, right? So it's like what can I bring to the table? Like obviously I can sell sponsorships, great, that's fantastic. They can sell sponsorships too, but like something like content's really big. So I'm like, shoot, I have an army of editors. Let me sponsor the editing, right? And then, my girlfriend is an amazing organizer and, she can help out with the organization. And that's another thing too, is like, what organization can you and your wife go support?
Well, we actually just joined Nora.
Outside of Nora. Okay, I know about Nora. No, because you're joining an organization of your competitors.
That's true.
Right, so that's the thing. I know Nora very well. Not going to talk about them. Not a bad organization. Love what they stand for. All that.
Something different, though. What you're
Right,
saying?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like for example, HVN. This is not the founders. The founder owns a construction company, and him and his wife, and the other founder owns a sign company.
Which is completely different.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
What organizations are out there, but also organizations that have money. Like there's golf courses and shit out there, right? In
There's like a local winery over there.
Local winery,
Yeah.
Great. Okay, dude. Where's the money? Money, like I love cigars because, bro, people spending $15, $20 a stick on cigars, they got money.
Oh yeah.
They go rolling up in Porsches. They're freaking wearing Christian Louboutin tennis shoes. Like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Right.
So, in Hollister, like, where's this person at, right? Or where are these people at with money? Or maybe where are the hardworking people, hardworking immigrants who saved up for their first home?
Right.
Maybe that's your client. I don't know. But the point is, though, is like every single day, I think, especially if you're treating this like you're brand new, like this is a brand new business, like get out of the house every single day. Make it a point to get outside.
Break the mold. Don't stay the same thing is what you're trying to say, right? You got to make sure that you're doing different. Expand.
Yeah, be different.
Strategically, though.
Yeah, and where does money come from?
Yeah.
That's a question. Where does money come from?
Money comes from people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Money comes from other people.
Yep.
So it's like we got to get around other people all
They
the
have
time.
the money will follow the money. Yeah, it's true. No, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if I meet with anybody out there who has, if I meet with anybody or if I find out about any groups or events, I'll let you know. But and I think the last one is just like servanthood, right? Like be out there ready to serve. Like and that's another thing too, is like if you actually find an organization that you believe in, that you can just serve, you serve and help out, bring your skills, bring your resources, that could be like big for you too.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is like you gotta also be strategic. Some people just like fill up their time and waste a lot of time just volunteering, but never get anything out of it.
Right.
Like,
I think that's the problem I ran into a lot, is that not strategically planning it and picking out the right stuff complete all the time and just staying in the same little hamster wheel, right?
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's one of the problems that we had before, though. But then I met somebody like you.
Well, and dude, like if you're around, like you got to meet the people at HVN, and again, like man, I was setting up my buddy's like CRM systems and whatnot, and let's just say something about his company blew my mind, where I was like, holy shit, it made me think different. But if I was not in proximity with him, if I did not befriend him, if we did not get to know each other, I would have never caught a glimpse of this. Right, which did he help me direct, and is he helping me, generate more leads and all that? No, but because I knew him and he let me look under the hood of his business, I'm like, oh damn,
Like I can implement. That's good.
That could work for my business,
yeah.
right? So, but yeah, man. With that being said, are there any final, final things you want to bring out?
No, I just say don't hold yourself back. I mean, just listen to people, listen to people, especially people that are successful. Get out of your own way. If you don't get out of your own way, you're not gonna go forward. And we're breaking that. So yeah, definitely.
Well, let's get it.
Let's go.
Well, I appreciate y'all watching or listening wherever you're at. We're out.